Dr. Zillith had taught comparative biology at the Galactic University for 37 cycles. She prided herself on remaining composed during even the most disturbing lectures, dissecting void parasites, analyzing the reproduction cycle of flesh weavers, documenting the feeding habits of solar worms. Nothing rattled her anymore. Until today's lecture on Deathworld species. Today, she announced to her class of 53 students, we examine humanity, a species from the class 12 Deathworld designated Earth. We'll begin with their sleep cycles. The holographic display activated, showing a peaceful image of a human in repose. The students, representing 19 different species, leaned forward with interest. Most had never seen a Deathworlder up close. Humans, Dr. Zillith continued, engage in something called sleep for approximately 1/3 of their lifespan. During this state, they enter a completely unconscious condition. A crystalline student raised a faceted appendage. Unconscious? Like a coma? Worse, Dr. Zillith said. During deep sleep phases, humans are virtually unresponsive to external stimuli. Their conscious minds completely disengage from their environment. Nervous chittering erupted in the back rows. A hive mind delegate's collective voice trembled. But that means they're defenseless. Completely vulnerable to predators. Correct, the professor confirmed. And it gets worse. This unconscious state is not optional, it is biologically mandatory. Humans who do not sleep will experience cognitive deterioration, hallucinations, and eventually death. A Felixian student's tail puffed in alarm. They'll die if they stay alert? What kind of evolutionary nightmare is this? Dr. Zillith pulled up the next slide. Furthermore, while unconscious, humans experience what they call dreams, vivid hallucinations that their brains generate randomly. Sometimes these dreams are pleasant. Often, they're terrifying. Humans call the frightening ones nightmares. Their own brains attack them with horror simulations while they're unconscious, gasped an avian student. Why? Unknown, Dr. Zillith admitted. Human neuroscientists still debate the purpose of dreams. But here's the truly disturbing part, sometimes humans cannot distinguish dreams from reality immediately upon waking. The class fell silent, processing this information. A brave insectoid student ventured, surely they have protective measures? Do they sleep in fortified bunkers? With guards? The professor's expression darkened. They sleep in bedrooms, often ground-level chambers with windows. Many humans sleep with these windows open. Some even sleep outdoors in fabric shelters called tents. Several students made distress sounds in their native languages. But Earth is a Class 12 Deathworld, protested the crystalline student. With apex predators, venomous insects, deadly weather patterns. How do they survive the night? Dr. Zillith pulled up historical data. Excellent question. Humans evolved this sleep pattern while surrounded by predators that specifically hunt at night. Creatures with infrared vision, enhanced hearing, and powerful jaws. That's insane, whispered a Wolven student. My species only enters light meditation states, we maintain environmental awareness at all times. Becoming completely unconscious is suicidal. And yet, Dr. Zillith said, humans survived. More than survived, they became Earth's dominant species. They learned to use fire for protection, developed pack sleeping strategies, and eventually created structures and weapons. But the truly remarkable part is this, humans adapted their predators before they adapted their sleep patterns. She pulled up the next image, a human sleeping peacefully with a large canine creature beside them. Is that an Earth predator? Someone squeaked. A wolf descendant, yes. Humans domesticated them. They call them dogs. Humans literally sleep next to creatures descended from pack hunters, and use them as guardians during their vulnerable unconscious state. A hive mind student spoke up, their collective voice awed. So humans befriended their nighttime predators and made them protect their sleep? Essentially, yes. The Felixian student's tale was now completely bottled. What about the others in their dwelling? Surely they maintain a watch rotation? Dr. Zillith shook her head. Human family units, including defenseless juveniles, all sleep simultaneously. Entire households of humans render themselves unconscious at the same time, every single night. By the void, someone shouted. How is their species not extinct? Because, came a new voice from the doorway, we're really light sleepers. The entire class spun around. Standing in the entrance was Professor Sarah Mitchell, the university's human exchange lecturer. She looked amused. Sorry I'm late, Dr. Zillith. That nap in the faculty lounge ran long. She walked to the front of the class, noting the terrified expressions. I see you've been discussing human sleep patterns. Professor Mitchell, Dr. Zillith said carefully, we were just explaining the vulnerability of the human sleep state. Sarah laughed. Vulnerable? Our ancestors survived millions of years sleeping on the ground in the African savanna surrounded by lions, hyenas, and leopards. We evolved to wake instantly at unusual sounds. She clapped her hands sharply. Every student in the room jumped. See? You all have advanced warning systems, threat detection arrays, environmental monitors. We just have pattern recognition and paranoia. She grinned. Plus, we evolved to only need 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Some species need 12, 16 hours of reduced consciousness. We're unconscious for a third of our lives and still took over our planet. A student tentatively raised an appendage. But the dreams? The nightmares? Your brain terrorizing you while defenseless? Oh, those. Sarah shrugged. Best theory is our brains are running threat simulations. Processing fears, practicing responses to danger. Even unconscious, we're training to survive. Dr. Zillith pulled up the final slide. This brings us to the most disturbing aspect of human sleep. Show them, Professor Mitchell. Sarah smiled and began describing lucid dreaming, the human ability to become aware within dreams and control them. Then sleep paralysis, waking while still unable to move. Then sleepwalking, performing complex actions while completely unconscious. By the end of the lecture, 3 students had fainted, the hive mind had fragmented twice from stress, and the crystalline student had requested trauma counseling. As the shaken class filed out, Dr. Zillith turned to Sarah. Perhaps we should label that lecture with a psychological warning. Sarah nodded thoughtfully. Probably. Wait until next week when you cover human children sleeping with stuffed predator toys. Dr. Zillith's face went pale. You do what?